Hello and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Tiffany and today I'm going to be doing just a quick get ready with me with some of my Shop to My Stash products for July and August. July went by so fast, I don't know what happened, and here we are already almost a full week into August. So I am working on some Project Pan stuff as well as just things pulled out of my collection, and as you can see I'm having quite the skin day. So here we are. I've already primed my under eyes with some of the First Aid Beauty moisturizer, and I am almost done with my all-nighter primer. I've got that already set on my face time to give it some tackiness. So I forgot to wet my beauty sponge. Whew, okay, well, I'm trying to remember 8,500 things today, so this just happened to be one that I'd forgotten. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the concealer that I have chosen. And I'm using my Urban Decay All Nighter Concealer, the waterproof concealer. And yeah, it's just okay. I haven't been able to spend any time at the pool the last couple of weeks, so I'm already losing some of that summer glow, if you will. And I really need something a little bit extra to cover up this redness from stress, and I'm sure no one else can relate to stress. That was sarcasm. So yeah, I'm just gonna do a little bit of this, cover this up. I like going in with a foundation or with a concealer first sometimes, especially when I have high blemish days, because I find that it just really helps to even out and really cover up some of that redness and some of the areas where I have patches, an uneven skin tone texture. It doesn't fill in any texture, but it does help even things out a little bit as far as the coloring and discoloration goes. Some of my freckles and some of these stress blemishes. As you can see, this concealer is a little bit too dark for me right now, but I fade pretty quickly, so that's another reason I wanted to do this darker concealer first, because I can go over top of it with a lighter foundation, and I have all of that redness covered or mostly covered, and some of those spots evened out, and then I can just use the foundation to go over and even things out a little bit more. So for my foundation, I did pull out my Physicians Formula, the Healthy Foundation in LC1, and I think it's actually just a little bit too dark for me even still, because it does kind of have a yellow tinge to it even though it says it's cool. So I'm not going to use that one today. I think instead I'm going to use my Beauty Blender Bounce Foundation and make sure it's unlocked. And this one is in the shade 3.15. Yeah, 3.15C. So I'm just going to, I know you're supposed to pump it into the little well here, but I'm just going to kind of pump it directly onto my sponge. All right, apparently it was unlocked. Oop. Just take a couple of pumps there and go on over all of this. It's still a little bit golden, but it blends in nicely. This one is not in my Project Pan. This is one of the newer foundations that I've picked up this summer, but I really wanted to use it while I still can. My Physicians Formula is probably about expired. It does have an SPF 20 in it, and I know that I bought it last year, so it's definitely time for that one to leave at the end of this month. I'm gonna use it up as much as I can, but I'm pretty sure it's on its way out anyway. So I just grabbed one more pump of this foundation because I do want to cover quite a bit today. It's also garbage day, so the trucks are loud. That's fun. Oh, so for many people, it's back to school season, and I'm so not ready. Just not ready. Don't have books, don't have plans. It's been work in progress. All right, so I'm just blending this into my ears. shoulders and on down. And this is actually a pretty good color match for me. Oh, I missed a spot. All right, I'm gonna keep blending. All right, now while my foundation kind of sets a little bit in the air, I like to give it some time to naturally just set down. I'm going to do my brows, and I have, what do I have? I'm just working right now through my Anastasia Dipbrow, as well as working on using up some more of my Uoma Beauty in O2 to set. I had pulled out my e.l.f. lash and brow mascara, which is what I usually use, but since I've been leaning towards more of a lighter, warmer brow, I have been using and loving this blonde. It just goes over top of my Ebony and just kind of really helps give it a little bit more depth and dimension, and that's what I'm really liking right now, instead of using my clear with my usual powders and pencils. So I think I'm going to do a couple of dedicated brow tutorials, or one brow video with the different ways that I choose to do my brows. So let me know if you'd like to see a brow video. In the meantime, I'm going to do this nonsense and be right back. Brows are on. They are not wanting to behave today, but I do not have time to stand here and take their disobedience, so we're just gonna move on. Oh my goodness, I am currently working through 5 setting powders. Yes, 5. It's ridiculous, I know. So I'm just going to grab my Peach Perfect, and I don't have to do a whole lot of setting today, but I just do want to get a little bit of base around my nose and around my cheekbones and up here at my temples, because sometimes my foundations tend to break up, especially here. And so I want to go ahead and get those set and mattified. Okay. Making really good progress on my Peach Perfect powder. I can actually set this upright in my little container here and keep moving on. So I was going to use some of my Too Faced powder and pick one of my blushes, but I think since I'm trying to focus this video today mostly on stuff from my Shop My Stash, I actually want to use my Swamp Queen for my face. So this is what the palette looks like. It is so shiny, but it has this bronzer, blush, and highlight trio over on the side, and the bronzer is really orange. It is very, very orange. So I'm just going to take I'm going to use a duo fiber brush for this because I don't want it to pick up too much and be too heavy. And let's see if I can remember how I did this the other day. All right, without blinding anybody. Okay, and still be able to see. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this on a duo fiber brush, and I actually like to tap it down into the fibers a little bit like this instead of throwing the powder away. I like to tap it down into the brush. That way, I don't know, it doesn't distribute too much product, but also doesn't feel very wasteful. Anyway, I feel like I get a good layering effect that way. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of that bronzer, just like that. I'm tapping it on my knee. And yeah, I'm just using that bronzer here. I'm using it on my cheekbones here a little bit, just to warm up the skin. And I'll take it up. Ooh, I think I grabbed too much. It's actually a really pretty, this one is called Sweet Tea, and it definitely has a very sweet tea kind of coloring to it. Just gonna dust across my nose here. Just for a little bit of warmth. This is definitely not a contouring shade for me. It is definitely a warming shade. And I like to have a little bit of that bridge of my nose and cheeks. best part about going in with bronzer first is that if I mess it up, I can always layer over some more foundation powder or go on top of it with blush and see how it layers. And sometimes that'll change the way I feel about it. All right, now I want to use the blush in here, which is called Does This Thing Really Work? And I have a small, kind of condensed brush. It's a little bit fluffy, but I'm going to pinch it just a little bit to get into that pan. I don't love the shapes of these pans for this, because if you use too big of a brush, you're going to accidentally get those edges into sweet tea or into gator wings. So again, I'm just going to use a tapping motion on my knee and dust on my cheeks. Again, I'm gonna pinch it. And this one also, this shade also has a little bit of gold micro glitter in it too, which again will help contribute to warming up the skin. All right, I can still see a little bit of my blemishes coming through underneath here. I'm too busy to care today, quite honestly. Okay, and since I am still wanting to use this palette, I am going to take Gator Wings, and I'm just going to use my fingertip for this. I could use a small brush, but I'm not going to. Because what I'll do is I'll rub this in here like this to blend it out. And have that nice warm glow. And then I'll take that same blush brush and tap it out if I need to dull it or blend it in some more, especially up here on my forehead, because this is a very glittery formula, but I love it. Okay, so that's it with the Swamp Queen. Next. Right, I had to take a second there to reset, and I went ahead and did my eyeshadow primer potion. Did my eyeshadow primer using the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. And for the palettes that I've picked out today, I have my NYX Midnight Chaos, which I love this so much. It's such a really pretty color story, even if the formula on some of these is trash. And I have my Pure Trolls palette, and the formula on this is amazing. So I thought these two would pair really nicely together today, and that's what we're gonna do. I just really want to do a quick eye because I don't have a whole lot of time today. So let me grab a couple of, there we go. All right, I'm gonna use my Wet n Wild fluffy brush here. And let's see, I'm going to go in first with my Midnight Chaos palette, because I think I'm gonna do something with the red shade here. So I'm just gonna take this matte red and dig into it, because you know, sometimes that's what you gotta do with this one. That one doesn't have a mirror, so I've got a bunch of pigment on my brush and just gonna take that matte shade and start on into the crease here. And this is a really pretty burgundy color. Oh, excuse you, I'm waiting on a phone call, so can't turn my ringer off. All right, so this is a really pretty burgundy color, and I'm just going to take this into the crease here on both sides. Now that I have that matte in the crease, I think I'm going to take this shade Pop Icon right here, which is basically a shimmery version of this color here. And I'm going to take that on what kind of brush am I going to use? I think I'm going to use a small, those are exact nonsense, a little smaller. I've got my e.l.f. pointed crease brush here, and I'm just going to take some of that in there, like so, and go on the outer corners here, like this, for a little bit of, not necessarily depth because it's the same color, but it just adds a little bit of a different texture to that outer corner there. And then I'm going to take this again and just kind of blend that. And my eyebrows are not wanting to behave today. So then I'm just going to grab this shade with the same brush that I've been blending with. I'm going to take the shade Wisdom and just kind of blend around here. Clean up some over there. As y'all know, my trick right now to find that shade that kind of is close and just blend it in and clean up. Right now for me, that's Wisdom. Oh, I keep leaning away from the lens there. Sorry about that. Okay, so now we have just a little bit of texture and a little bit of color difference there. And it looks really nice. Again, it's not really a depth thing, it's just adding a little bit of a different texture there with that satin. Not shimmer. Did I say shimmer? I meant satin. So now what I want to do is take, let me see, the shade, I think we're gonna do, yeah, I'm gonna take this shade Bridget, which is up here in the corner, and on that same, no, not really, like kind of a cut crease, but not really. We're just going to take the shade Bridget in the inner part here on the lid. And I want this to be kind of a base for some of the shimmer that I'm going to use here in a minute. Because it's not really a cut crease, it's just kind of some contrast. And I like how it's blending up with that matte shade there, that's what I want. Because in a minute I'm going to take one of these topper shades and some glue and pat it right on top. So now I'm just going to take some more of that pop icon and blend it in towards the center with Bridget and create this really pretty combo. A nice shape, I like that. Okay, now I think for a little bit of contrast, I want to do a purple eyeliner. So I have this itty bitty teeny tiny, this is not purple, that's brown. This itty bitty teeny tiny little Delirious by Urban Decay. I am almost done. That's where we are right now. Can you focus? Here. This is where we are with the Delirious. Teeny tiny. So I'm going to use up some of this and just kind of want to do something berry and purple. Alright, so then I'm going to take my eyeliner brush, a small Wet n Wild eyeliner brush. This is so tiny. Look at that. Come on. There we go. And I'm going to take the shade Biggie, which is a nice shimmery satin purple, just to kind of set and smudge. I am all about the pink and purple combos this week. I think I've done this combo like 3 times, but in different palettes and with different tones of these colors. It's just what I'm into this week. And then I'm going to grab a clean fluffy brush and just blend underneath here. Alright, so I've just blended this purple underneath and probably could use a little more lotion on there. But I want to take this shade right here, which is a kind of a topper shade. It looks very, very similar to my Urban Decay Fireball, but it's kind of a sheer version. It's more of a topper version, and I can't get that to show up. But this one is very opaque, and this one is more of a topper shade. So what I want to do with this one is I have my NYX Glitter Primer, which I love. And I'm just going to take a little bit on my fingertip because I don't want too much. I'm not piling it on here. I just kind of want to top what I have. And Bridget is a really pretty satin color, but I just want to add a little bit of sparkle. So I have the tiniest amount that I'm just going to put on both eyelids here because I don't want to completely cover it. And then I'm just going to take this topper shade that doesn't have a name here, and just going to use my finger again, that same one that I had the glue on, so it's kind of stuck on my finger, and you can see it's very, very sparkly. And I just want to put it over top of there, that nice glitter. And it's a sheer, kind of a sheer sparkle that gives it a little bit of dimension. And I really like that so much. Let me see if I can get it in this one, show up a little bit better. But these two palettes work very nicely together, and even though the textures and quality of some of these Midnight Chaos shadows aren't the best, they're still workable, and you can see that really pretty sparkle and that really pretty shift. If I can get that, there we go. You see that really pretty shift there with that peach and pink, and I think it just pairs beautifully with the purple. So I'm going to finish off with some mascara, and I'm just going to be super basic with my lip choice today because check this out. I am so close to, oh, sorry, I have no idea what I did to my hand there. I am so close to finishing up this full-size Buxom lip gloss, and I'm trying to talk myself out of buying the new scents for this fall, but this is just such a pretty color. So quick, easy, and again, I don't feel like being fussy today. I just don't. Okay, so I'm gonna put on some mascara, which is just, again, roller lash. If I get an itch, I'll put on a wing, but I don't know, we'll see. You'll see. Okay, here's the finished look. Now I did have a little bit of mascara mishap down here because y'all know I'm clumsy and definitely poked myself in the eye with the wand. So sometimes it does not always work to take a brush and just wipe it away. Like this, as you can see, it does not always work. And sometimes it doesn't always work to scrape it away. So what I do in this case is I will either take an eyeshadow that is one of the blending shades down here, or I will take my A powder foundation and just kind of tap it down underneath there. So I'm going to do a little bit of sort of that today. I'm going to take some eyeshadow that's my coloring, and I'm going to go over here and just kind of, it's not going to blend it away completely, but it'll hopefully help hide it a little bit. Just taking a little bit of that, and the same thing on this side to help hide it. And then, because more is more for me, I'm going to go back into my palette here, and I'm just going to add a little bit more blush under here, because sometimes, see right here where that my foundation color here didn't quite blend very well with my other stuff. I just like to take a little bit and blend it in. Not a whole lot of color, just enough to, again, blend it in. I don't have anything really in this inner corner, so I'm just gonna tap a little bit, and it's not gonna matter because my glasses are gonna go on, and if anyone's that close, they shouldn't be that close. So I'm just going over with a little bit of blush to kind of tamp down some of that gold highlight. And yeah, this is the look. Oh, I did decide to add a wing clearly here. You know, again, my world's messiest wing woman. Is that a title? I mean, wing woman means something different, but anyway, so I like this. I like the peach and the pink and the purple. I love it. So what I did for my eyeliner is I took my same eyeliner brush that I used to do the purple underneath here, and I took a little bit of my black and I did the outer corner, and then when I wanted to do the wing, I flicked it out here to kind of add a little bit more and make that shape. But then towards the inner corner, I tapped it on here and just kind of stamped and smudged that, so I have a little bit on that inner corner there. Again, very messy, but I'm not being graded on perfection, and I'm cool with that. So again, mascara, lips are done, everything's done. Just a simple twisted tie-backed hair today for some errands and doing all the things. That's it for me today. I hope you have a great day wherever you are. Thank you so much for spending some of your very valuable time with me today. I really enjoyed using these palettes. I don't use these often enough. I'm so glad I pulled them into my Shop to My Stash because I really did. I like this look a lot. I think it makes my eyes look really green, and I just love a pink and purple combo this week. So that's just who I am this week. So, all right, that's it for me today. You have a great day. Again, I've already said that, but have an extra great day. And until next time, take care.